Mayor, we're live.
Thank you. Welcome to the June 23rd, 2021 Oakland Mayor and Council meeting. Roll call.
Mayor Schwager,
Here.
Councilman Bialy,
Here.
Councilman Kamala,
Here.
Councilman Pimentelli,
Here.
Councilman Slasinski,
Here.
Councilman Salamini,
Here.
Councilman Van Eck, absent.
Motion to excuse. Second.
All right. Since we're still virtual, we dispense with the salute to the flag. A moment of silence. Thank you. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, submitted to the newspaper, and advertised more than 48 hours in advance of the meeting, and notice posted in the municipal building and on the borough website pursuant to the state law on virtual meetings. Also, the meeting shall adjourn at 10 o'clock p.m. unless a majority of those council members present vote to continue the meeting for a set period of time. And my mayor's report. I don't know if you all received the newspaper. It's a magazine called Northwest Bergen Lifestyle Magazine. In the July issue, they highlighted different towns and different projects in the various towns. And Oakland had a little article on Sustainable Oakland Green Team completes reforestation project. And they start by talking about over 2,000 trees were planted thanks to the Sustainable Oakland Green Team's Roots for Rivers project. And with the grants from Sustainable Jersey, the AmeriCorps, New Jersey Watershed Ambassadors Program, New Jersey Nature Conservation, volunteers, they talk about all of the reforestation that they have done. And initial cleanup and removal of invasive species, 530 tree plants were planted on borough-owned property and along the Roosevelt Boulevard riverfront, all by Sustainable Oakland Green Team's 45 volunteers over the course of 2 weekends. And it goes on to talk about all the volunteers to do this. So that was very impressive. So thank you to the members of our Oakland Green Team for this. Later on in the evening, John Yakimic will present, along with Councilman Bialy, an updated report on the Patriots Way Bridge. Before you even think twice, just remember the Patriots Way Bridge is safe for vehicular and pedestrians crossing, so do not worry. Also, to the residents who live on Glen Gray Road, you are not forgotten. We are working to schedule a meeting with Mawa. The road goes right down Oakland and Mawa, and we really have to meet with them. We have, well, I think most of us have received, I've received many, many calls, people walking into my office, writing to me, calling me, I see it on Facebook, about the third quarter estimated tax bills. Right after we open the meeting, right after the open portion, our finance chairman, Councilman Russ Talamini, and our CFO, David Young, will give a full explanation on the tax bill. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about is because it's been all over Facebook also, about the veto to the cannabis prohibition ordinance. So I'm just going to read what I wrote to the council, why I objected to the ordinance. No, and I emphatically say no, there's no interest. I have no interest, even though some cowardly person anonymously opened all my emails since January. I think they were trying to find that smoking gun, which doesn't exist. I have no financial interest. The only interest I have in having marijuana business in Oakland is to help finance the town. So this is the letter I wrote with my objections. Dear Miss Duncan, I had to write this to the Borough Clerk pursuant by law. At the June 9th, 2021 Oakland Borough Council meeting, Ordinance 21 Code 828 was passed by a 4-2 vote for approves the banning of marijuana to oppose. Opposed were Councilman Bialy and Councilman Van Eck. And the ordinance is called Chapter 8, Cannabis Prohibition of All Classes of Business, so as to prohibit the operation of any class of cannabis business within the geographical boundaries of the Borough of Oakland. The Borough, and this is to give you about government in Oakland, the Borough of Oakland operates as a borough form of government. The powers of the mayor under the form of government are set forth in New Jersey State Statutes 48:60-5. The mayor's powers relating to ordinances are very specific. The mayor shall, within 10 days after receiving an ordinance, and Sundays are accepted from count, either approve the ordinance by affixing his signature thereto, or return it to the council by delivering it to the clerk, together with a statement setting forth his objections thereto, or any item or part thereof. And now I go on to say why I objected to the ordinance, and I had to write out my objections, and I've summarized it. As prescribed by the statute, I set forth my objections as follows. 67%, that's 67% of Oakland voters voted for the legalization of marijuana in the state of New Jersey. Legalization of marijuana permits the use of cannabis products. Individuals can legally purchase the products, and businesses can legally manufacture, cultivate, distribute, dispense, deliver, and sell the products. You can have it all in your home, buy it anywhere, and smoke as much as you want in your own home. As mayor, I established an ad hoc committee made up of residents who are on both sides of the issue, together with our borough planner, Steve Lyden attended the meetings, borough administrator, Pritchard, 2 councilmen, and me, to research and discuss and forward their findings to the council. The committee met January 9th and January 16th. I had requested the council to refrain from passing the ordinance on January 9th, 2021 until June, until the committee forwarded their findings. Said request was ignored. At the June 9th, 2021 committee meeting, both councilmen who sit on the committee agreed to keep the ordinance on the table. Then 2 hours later, on same day, during the council meeting, one of the councilmen who previously agreed at the committee meeting that the ordinance should remain on the table made the motion to pass the ordinance, denying what happened at the committee meeting. The next meeting of the committee is scheduled for July 7th, 2021. The committee has received copies of sample ordinances. The committee has received financial information. The committee has received our town zoning maps. The committee has received lists of vacancies in our commercial zones. There is still time to present the committee's findings to the council. We have been doing all our research. With the unanimous approval, the planning board sent 2 letters to the council opposing the ordinance. The latest vote included a councilman who abstained at the planning board meeting, then seconded the motion to approve the ordinance at the council meeting. The appointed planning board members are educated. These are volunteers. They're educated people, professional business people with financial experience, and they are longtime residents of our borough. Both recommendations for the planning board were ignored. The Borough of Oakland has geographic zoning areas of our town that are not within residential areas. There are vacancies in the industrial and commercial areas of town. State law permits delivery of cannabis throughout Oakland. The borough cannot permit the same. The borough cannot stop people buying cannabis. The borough cannot stop people using cannabis. This ordinance only precludes receiving economic benefit. If we do not move forward and move to the forefront, businesses will go elsewhere. This is simply marketing 101. The borough needs financial assistance to help stabilize taxes in Oakland. Important financial considerations for the residents of Oakland, which have been ignored by the Borough Council. In addition to collecting taxes from occupied buildings, 1, the borough may assess a 2% transfer tax on gross receipts, not net receipts, gross receipts from each sale by a cannabis cultivator and a cannabis manufacturer. And 2, the borough may assess a 1% gross receipt. Again, gross receipts, not net receipts, for each sale by a cannabis wholesaler. The borough shall be able to designate how the money received will be used. This was discussed at length during our committee meeting. The committee members suggested possible designated accounts for receivables to be used to pay down our debt service or to be used for the many infrastructure projects the borough needs, such as roads repavements. For the foregoing reasons, I ask the members of the Oakland Borough Council not to override my veto, but to work with the ad hoc committee to create a viable ordinance which will financially benefit the residents of Oakland. This will be done later. 4 members will vote to override the veto, and then the ordinance is intact. So at this time, I lost my motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're open.
If you wish to provide public comment, please click the raise your hand icon or *9 on a mobile phone.
Sorry, I don't know how to raise my hand, if you can hear me. It's David Sandler, 24 Academy Circle.
I hear you.
You hear me? Okay, I just want to speak to 2 points. I want to request the council to take Mayor Schwager's reading of her letter very seriously. I think it's an important opportunity for us.
Something.
I'm sorry? Did I forget my address?
You're
24 Academy Circle. So I hope you, the members of the council who voted for the ordinance, will reconsider and evaluate this on a more systematic basis. I think it's a great opportunity that we're losing, and I know from my discussions with others that on a separate topic that at some point in the meeting you will give an update on the sewer project. I hope to hear that tonight, and that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, next up is Steve Panosian.
Hello, everybody. This is Steve Panosian, 69 Glen Gray. Mayor Schwager, Council. I think there's been plenty of emails from our joint United, everybody that lives on Glen Gray, both the Oakland side and the Mawa side. So we've been discussing the repavement of Glen Gray for quite some time, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I know there's been a lot of meetings internally on the mayor's side and the city council side, but the anxiety and frustration is growing. And now that summer is here, we have more people frequenting the street. I walk the street almost every day, it's you can't walk in a straight line. You have to really watch where you're walking. It's not safe to walk down our street. The only positive, it keeps people from speeding, which has been a big problem. Thank you for taking care of that, working with the police department. But we need better answers. It just seems that every time we get an email, which is unofficial, but here it's official in this particular meeting. We want something concrete. We'd like to see and learn that we're going to get something done in the way of repaving in the foreseeable future. And if our town has to meet with MAWA, we have residents on the MAWA side that certainly can help facilitate that if there's a challenge there. But I don't want to connect dots. If I just heard that we're looking to get cannabis revenues that will help repair roads, I'm not going to smoke more pot. I don't smoke pot, but I'm not going to smoke more pot hoping that we're going to get revenue in this town just to repave my street. I'd rather just sit back and have the town just do what they're supposed to and fix the roads. And I know a couple of our residents are not happy with the tax increase and still having to look at a street that hasn't been repaved for better than 25 or 30 years.
Thank you.
Mayor, next up is Michael Pritchard.
Michael, Mayor, good evening. Michael Pritchard, 23 Calumet. Last meeting, they were bringing up about the affordable housing. I'm in favor of that. However, I ran into this, and you know quite well that I'm concerned about the river and the Clean Water Act. And what I found out is that we are going to have to need to get a permit from the EPA because of groundwater going through that parcel of property that's south of the ShopRite. We have to get that done. Now, I know that the engineers will be involved with this, the EPA and the DPW, but I think this is something that we're going to need to get it squared away everything squared away before a builder comes in. So I'll give you the copy of the Supreme Court decision. It's 51 pages. You'll love it, but I'll get that down to you tomorrow. Okay, that's all I got.
This is a side note. When we meet in person, usually Michael delivers copies to our borough clerk. So we'll wait to get it from him.
It'll come tomorrow.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
It's 51 pages, but
thank you.
It's something that we're going to have to comply with. And I'm of the school that we get all the I's dotted and the T's crossed ahead of time before a developer comes into that problem. So it's all squared away. And we don't wind up like other towns where they have $1 million lawsuits. We don't need that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor, next up, Maria Glasson.
Hi, Mayor and Council. Maria Glasson, 51 Princeton Terrace. I just wanted to say that I'm very much in favor of having cannabis come to this town. It's money that we're literally throwing away by saying no. If we say wait and see, these companies are going to go to other towns and get premises, and it's going to be too late. We're going to miss out on it. And it's like free money we're giving away. And with the tax increases and people complaining about the school budget, this is like a really easy no-brainer fix to me. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, next up is Barbara S.
Hello, Mayor and Council. How are you?
Good.
I'm Barbara Stansfield, 19 Wilson Street. I have to say that this, to me, is a no-brainer. There's sewage problems in the area. There's many issues happening that to receive this money and just toss it to the side makes no sense to me. I really have a hard time wrapping my head around the logistics of not going forward with doing something on this. I've spoken to Mr. Van Eck, and I really just can't see my way around why we can't do this. There's already places in business in Riverdale. So, we can all go to the drug dealer in town. I'm not talking about me, but the kids and all that. But I think having it legalized kind of takes that away. And I do think that there's importance behind this money, and it really, really should be given heavy consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Rachel Gregory.
Hi, Rachel Gregory, 2 Kiowa Terrace. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, but we can't
Okay.
see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, good. I want to know if the councilmen are going to tell us, the people listening, their views on the cannabis ordinance. It would be useful to know for, voting purposes coming up and going forward, who supports it, who doesn't, and why. I support you, Mayor, in wanting to veto the ordinance, and I want to know why it was ignored, the meetings that were taking place to discuss it, and then all the findings that you guys came up with, why that was ignored. Also, I want to talk about the relining of the pipes for the sewer project, and what was the thought behind starting the project just as summer starts, just as schools get out of session, just as kids want to go outside and play in their backyards. Why, of all times in the year, was the summer chosen to start this project? It's not a good time for families. We're coming out of COVID now, and people want to be outside and socialize, and now we're going to be, stuck with 3 months of having, there's also not a lot of information we received about what exactly this is entailing. Are we talking 1 day on our property, 2 weeks? What exactly is going to be going on? And I think people need more information before they decide whether to sign off allowing Boswell onto our property this summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I see no one further.
Okay, motion to close.
Mayor, hold on. One more person. Resident Mike Kozak.
Oh, there we go. Hello, Mayor and Council. Michael Kozak, 24 Cayuga. Just talking to you from down here at the carnival. I'm trying to see if I can flip this camera. Want to let you know everything's rolling beautifully. We got off to a great start. We sold 950 wristbands in the first 61 minutes. And if you can see from the video, we've got a great crowd.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we've got a great crowd. 950 in 61 minutes. And now the line is down. In any event, wristbands tonight, tomorrow night, $25. And then we've got wristbands on Friday and Saturday. No fireworks this year, as you know. We've got a couple bands performing in the backside over there. Not too much lines are waiting. And of course, we have about, 8 or 9 booths that are selling food or talking about their wares. So hopefully everybody will be coming down to the carnival. Parking lots are good because we don't have to worry about fireworks, so we don't have to give away space for that event. We just want to let you know if anybody's got any questions there. Those are the answers if I've covered it all. Thank you.
Are there 501c3s selling food?
Yeah, so we've got pretty much all the ones we had last year. The Boy Scouts were able to pull it off. Short notice, we have a lot of illegal pockets that were going on, but we did get some older folks to step up to get funnel cakes by popular demand. And then, of course, Father's Club, Knights of Columbus, and Slow Follies is down in the end with informational booths. And, of course, we got Pond's Church with the pickles, cheesesteaks there with the Father's Club. Got some canoes to talk about scouting and how it's wonderful. We lost our pack in town. I don't know if you heard that, but unfortunately there wasn't enough support. But the troop is still going strong. We're just trying to talk about it. They're trying to talk about it. Mother's Club doing their sandwiches and then grilled cheese and hot pretzels over there with So
what happened to the Rotary Club?
I'm sorry. Rotary is over here with hot dogs. I am so sorry.
Okay, but have those hot dogs.
I didn't see it there. Yeah, there they are. Here's the hot dogs. They're only $3.
Okay.
Oh, 2 for $5. That's, I don't know if that's today or the whole weekend. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the price?
So it's all good. Ice cream over there. Look at those space between the tables. Keep that social distancing going on. We got to sign up. All good.
Excellent.
Come on down.
Thank you.
And I definitely expect to see all of you individually down here. Stop over and say hello, especially you, Rich and David, of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. So is that the end?
Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of May 26th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Any additions or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then we'll just do special announcements. The social affairs permit for the Oakland Fathers Club. They're holding a pig roast on August 21st, an important date, at the Oakland Elks Club. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so at this time, just a response to the residents at Glen Gray Road, our engineer, and I've written this to the residents, and I'll say it again, our engineer, our borough administrator, and I are trying to schedule a meeting with Mayor with Sas, how do you pronounce his name? Richard
Wisaki,
their engineer, and their administrator. And I'm still waiting for John Kim to come through with some dates so that we can sit down. And I think we should meet at Glen Gray Road, not in Borough, not in Oakland, but on the border, right down the middle of Glen Gray Road, and have the residents will see that we're seriously trying to get this resolved. So John, I'm leaving that in your hands.
Yes, I talked with my counterpart in Mawa yesterday, and he's working with the administrator, Ben Kazmarski, and we'll be in touch with Rich Coons to schedule that meeting.
And I reached out to Ben today. I'm just waiting for a reply.
And Richard, I really think we should meet at Glen Gray Road.
Okay, we'll propose that.
Right in the middle. Half Mawa, half Oakland. With that, I'm going to now call upon, before we do the resolutions, I'm going to call upon our finance chairman, Russ Talamini, who will work and speak with our CFO to give an update on what happened with the third quarter taxes.
Thank you, Mayor. So obviously we had a little problem with the printing of our tax third quarter bills. Rather than me muddy the waters anymore, I think we'll just pass it along to our CFO, Mr. Young, and we'll go forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. So just kind of hopefully put everybody's mind at ease. I know numbers have floated around out there for different things that people are saying about the tax rate, but the tax rate for the full year, the increase is 2.4%. I know other numbers have floated, but that's what people are actually going to see year over year. When we talk about the tax rate and the impact, we like to use the average assessed home in Oakland. That home is about $435,000. Last year, they would have had a tax bill of around $13,045. This year, we think that tax bill, again for the full year, will be around $13,363. So that's an increase of $317 on the average. So that's what people should be feeling comfortable about seeing relative to that $435,000 assessed house. What happened is when the third quarter tax bills were generated, the entire increase loaded into the third quarter bill. Normally that increase is split between the third and fourth quarter. So instead of seeing the 317, you would have seen 158 or so in each quarter. The first and second quarter for that average house billed at around 3261. The third quarter bill came in around 3578, which is that $317 increase. In August, maybe beginning of September, depending upon when the county gets all the stuff approved, the county will give us our final tax rate for the full year. When they do, we'll calculate the fourth quarter bills. The fourth quarter bills are pretty simple. They take the full year bill and subtract what's already happened in the first, second, and third quarter with billings. So again, for our average assessed home, we think the full year bill is going to be around $13,363. We take away the first, second, and third quarter, that's going to leave us with a fourth quarter bill of around $32.61, about the same as what somebody would have experienced in the first and second quarter. So the overall tax is just going up by 2.4%. That all happened in the third quarter. There won't be another increase like that in the fourth quarter. You should see, assuming that we estimated correctly, a fourth quarter bill about what you saw in the first and second. We do feel pretty good about the estimate. When we did the estimate, we had all of the people who contribute to the tax levy, the schools and everybody, we had their final budgets. The only one we were missing was the county, and we did estimate that at around 2.5%. So that's the only variable that we're really seeing out there. So that's, kind of the situation with the third quarter taxes. The increase, again, 2.5%, not the 10 or the 8 that have been floating around out there.
So David, could you tell people why we had to do an estimated third quarter tax?
So the estimated bill we do because the county often does not strike the tax rate and can't do it until the end of August or September. When that happens, it takes us another 3 to 4 weeks to get all the bills done. We have to work with a partner, Micro Systems, to load the tax rate into Edmunds so we can create bills. That would normally, if we didn't do an estimated, cause the third quarter bills to go out sometime in September, maybe close to October. And that kind of compresses our cash flow for the third quarter because we don't have the usual money coming in August. The schools and the county do not wait. We still have to pay the schools and the county in August, September, even though if we did not do an estimate, we wouldn't have our money from the taxpayers until September or October. So that's why we're now doing an estimate so that we can make sure we have good cash flow within the borough.
Does anybody want to add anything to this?
So just we've put some stuff in place so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah. So Councilman, what happened is we sent the tax rate to our partner, and we sent both the third quarter and the full year rates. They loaded in the third quarter rate as a full year. So that kind of doubled up on the third quarter. But when the full year rate goes in, finally approved by the county, it'll take that into account, and we won't see anything of that rate going up in the fourth quarter. So yes, we've taken care of that moving forward. We've changed our process in terms of what and how we send them. So this was, a miscommunication that we don't expect to see again.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else want to add anything to this? Thank you, Mr. Young, for the explanation of the third quarter. If anybody at all, anybody listening, or if anybody has any questions, please have them contact our tax collector, Deborah, at the municipal building. She will meet with them. She will explain everything to the resident, exactly the position that they're in. So these bills are estimated, and they are due when?
August 1st is a due date. 10-day grace period runs to August 10th.
Thank you.
Mayor, I just wanted to say one thing. I want to thank Mr. Raymond Miller for contacting me last week. When he originally got the bill, immediately sent me an email, called me up, and we discussed it. I called Rich, and that's when we started the wheels turning to resolve the issue. First of all, we had to find out what the issue was, and then it was resolved. So thank you, Mr. Miller.
Okay, thank you, and thank you, David. All right, we have a consent agenda for resolutions. I'll read them, and if you want any pulled out, let me know. The first one is 21-221. Authorize the grant application for the COPS mini grant, which is open to law enforcement agencies. Oakland wishes to submit an application, and the grant is for $10,000 for a bicycle patrol program. 21-222, hire seasonal laborer for the Department of Public Works, Matthew Papietro, starting June 28th, 2021 at $13 an hour. Resolution 21-223, authorize grant application to the 200 Club of Bergen County Police Department Bicycle Patrol Program, and it's in the amount of $10,000 for the Oakland Police Department. 21-224, Chapter 159, Safe Routes to Schools Design Assistance. The Director, Division of Local Government Services, may approve the insertion of any special item of revenue in the budget for any municipality when such item shall have been made available by law and the amount thereof was not determined at the time of the adoption of the budget, and it is a sum of $70,201.98 to be appropriate under the caption of general appropriation. 21-225, authorized contract, Safe Routes to Schools Design Assistance. And at WSP USA Inc., 2000 Lennox Drive, 3rd floor, Lawrenceville, New Jersey, 08648, submitted a cost proposal for services requiring the amount not to exceed $70,552.03. They submitted all necessary paperwork. There's no professional bidding required, and the officer of CFO has certified funds are available, and the amount will not exceed $70,552.03. 21-226, authorized co-sponsorship agreement for the 2021 Oakland Carnivals with the Mothers Club, and that's with the 501c3, and they are the co-sponsor. 21-227 is to authorize the hire of Michelle Dalianis as clerk 1 in the construction office at an annual salary of $48,000 effective July 12th, 2021. So after July, as of July 12th, if you go down to the construction department, unfortunately, Gail Bowitz won't be there. And how many years, Richard? 31 years?
32.
32 years. Thank you. Resolution 21-228, authorize a license agreement between Catherine and Henry Quiteras, owners of land known as Block 2511, Lot 10, commonly known as 26 Grandview Avenue. They've been advised of certain encroachments exist at the rear of the property onto municipal property located on Mountain View Avenue, a 2-story frame garage and fence, and the owners desire to enter into a lease agreement with the Borough of Oakland. And this authorizes to execute a lease agreement in the form of this next resolution. 2 liquor licenses, 21-229. The liquor licenses are renewable from July 1st to 2021 to June 30th, 2022. The applicant has deposited the required $2,000 fee. This it is called Buena Fortuna Portobello, 175 Rampart Valley Road. The license renewal is conditioned. Now it's subject to their paying of their fines, which amounts to approximately $5,000 plus. So this is a conditional renewal, allowing us only if they do pay their fines, their outstanding fines for prior violations. 21-230 is another conditional renewal. Again, it's from July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. They deposit the required application fee of $2,000. It's for Segovia Prime LLC at 110 West Oakland Avenue. This renewal is conditioned upon implementing appropriate action to remove any outstanding violations. They must abate the violations which are within the floodplain. 21-231 is approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the improvements to Seminole Avenue, the Phase 2 project. 21-232, authorized refund of recreation fees to the Marara family, 51 Glen Gray Road. The amount is $105 for the Indian Hills High School Baseball Summer Camp Week 3. And resolution 21-233 is to authorize an agreement for the 5G consulting services to appoint Hoplite Communications LLC with offices at 197 Route 18, Suite 3000 in East Brunswick, New Jersey, as consultant and designee to provide municipal services with regard to the municipality's communications carriers. Are there any you wish to pull out?
Yes.
If not, yes?
Yeah. Could we pull out the liquor licenses? I think it was 20, yeah, both of those. And
The liquor
also,
licenses are 229 and
Yeah.
230.
and also 231.
Okay, so we have 231, 230, and 229. Any others? Okay, other than those three, is there any others? Then a motion?
Motion to move on the rest of those
Yes,
resolutions.
as a consent agenda.
Second.
So moved.
And Councilman Talamini seconded?
Yes.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Okay, the first one is 21-229. This is for Portobello.
Just both liquor licenses. So if we don't approve them, they won't be able to sell liquor right now, or do we have time? Is there?
They expire on June 30th, 2021, which I think is next week already, believe it or not. I think that's the end of June. Am I correct?
Yes, if we don't act on them before the end of June when they expire, they have to go to Trenton and get an ad interim permit for each day until we could approve their liquor licenses.
However, these are subject to approvals, so it's conditional. All right, let's do one at a time. 229 is Portobello. He has more than $5,000 in fines to pay. So let's say you vote to renew his license. It's only the resolution is only good if he pays, and it says so. The renewal of the license is conditions upon payment of outstanding fines for prior violations.
So when does he have to pay these?
How long?
Before June 30th.
Yeah, it's my understanding he has to pay the fine by the renewal date.
By the renewal date. Okay, as long as that's what it is, then there's
Yes.
a
And if he doesn't, even
Then-
though we approve it conditionally, if I'm correct, listening to you, Lisa, they will have to go to Trenton?
Brian, I'm
No, what has happened is they have a conditional approval by this town. So their license is approved for the following year. But I should say for the following, year commencing July 1. But for that license to be effective, have to address the issues with the municipality, which was the failure to pay the fines I should say related to the fire violations. So the liquor license condition is to assure compliance with the violation and fines that were issued. There was no appeal from those fines to the construction board, so it has to be resolved with the building department.
So we can renew tonight, and if they don't pay, they cannot sell liquor as of July 1st.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions on this is 229 for Portobello. All right. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
And 21-230 is Segovia. They're a little different. If you approve their renewal, it is conditioned upon they have to pay. And I don't know if it's paying, but they have to remove the outstanding violations. They have to abate any outstanding violations with the DEP in the floodplain.
This is also a similar issue, except there have been violations issues, but no fines assessed. Based upon information that I received from the borough and the borough engineer, opportunities were provided to obtain compliance with regard to the violations that were identified. Although promises were made, that never occurred. So this is again motivation for the property owner and the operator to address those violations. In this instance, It just requires the implementation of necessary action to get those violations cleared. Doesn't mean that you need compliance by July 1st, but our expectation is that the process will at least start.
So, is there a motion to approve? Conditional.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Who notifies the two restaurants?
That will occur through Lisa's office.
I hope as soon as possible. They don't have much time.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's soon. 21231, approval to submit a grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation for the improvements to Seminole Avenue Phase 2 project. Councilman.
I just want to abstain from that because I live on Seminole.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Is there a second? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Abstain.
So now we have a lot of ordinances. You also received letters from the planning board describing each of the ordinances. You had the ordinances in depth at the last council meeting. If there's any questions for each ordinance, this is the final adoption. So that means we will open it up for public hearing, and then for each ordinance, there'll be a motion to finally adopt. And for all of the people listening, all of these ordinances are required pursuant to the settlement agreement with Fair Share Housing Center. We must do this by the state. We're required and within a court order. So the first one, 21 Code 830 regulates small cell wireless facilities, and it affects the right of way. Is there a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak? Michael?
If you wish to speak on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon or *9 on a mobile phone. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt 21 Code 830 regulates small cell wireless facilities.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
21 Capital 831. It's the 2021 Capital Ordinance. Motion to open.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Michael?
Again, public comment on this ordinance only. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to adopt 21 Capital 831, 2021 Capital Ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
21 Capital 833, 2021 Water Capital Ordinance. Motion to open.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Michael?
If you wish to speak on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt 21 Capital 833, 2021 Water Capital Ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yeah.
21 Code 834, amend code policy for honoring former council members.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Michael?
Discussion. Can we have
Oh, yeah.
discussion? Yes, I thought, I recall, a proposal was made to amend this to also honor distinguished members of our police, fire, and first aid squad. Did we not discuss that? I don't recall that at all, Pat. The only
Nothing.
discussion
That was
was
brought up.
the amendments which included the Buy American flag provision.
That was it.
The lowering of the flag.
So,
No,
I
Buy
mean, does
American-
council want to also include members of the police, fire, and first aid, or don't they?
Do you
I
want
think
to
it's-
table the ordinance for further review?
Well, I mean, I would recommend that it be included. I don't know if we have to table it.
But we never discussed that.
All right,
Okay.
so we'd have to table it. Do you wish to table it?
I wish to table it, yes.
Second.
There's a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
All right, 21 Code 835, affordable, now this starts the affordable housing that we have to do. 21 Code 835, affordable housing ordinance, open to the public,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
If you
Michael.
wish to speak on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to adopt,
So moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Now we start the affordable housings. 21 Code 835, affordable housing ordinance.
We just did that,
We
Mayor.
just did that
I'm
one.
36.
sorry. 836, development fee.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, open to the public, all in favor?
Aye.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon.
Motion to
Mayor, I see
close.
no one further.
Motion to close.
Mayor, if I may, and maybe to put it in the context, with these series of ordinances, as you've indicated, we entered into an agreement with Fair Share Housing Center with respect to Oakland's affordable housing obligations. That agreement was dated August 11th, 2020. It was approved by court order December 16, 2020. In order to achieve compliance, there are various actions that needed to be taken by the municipality. That included the adoption of housing element and fair share plan. And now these are the adoption of the ordinance to implement that plan. First ordinance you did was what I call the general requirements for managing any affordable housing units, what the requirements are, how they are to be provided, and how they are to be managed, and how they are to be deed restricted. This ordinance is the updated development fee ordinance, which requires the payment of affordable housing development fees as set forth by statute. And then the next series of ordinance you'll have, which I can address when we reach them, are a series of specific zoning ordinances. So that's what you have in front of you. I know we've been speaking about this for the past year, but I just wanted to put it in context today. It's important that these ordinances be adopted. As I said, it's necessary for compliance. Our compliance hearing is scheduled for August 9th.
Thank you. So, I lost track. Where are we?
836.
To adopt 836.
Okay.
So
Did someone,
moved.
second, roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
837 is create the RA3AH zone, affordable housing zone, rezones property on Raritan Road to provide multifamily housing at a permitted density of 16 units per acre.
So moved. Open to the public.
Second, open.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
Roll call.
That was to close. Do we have one to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. You keep me on the straight and narrow.
Okay, Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
So we're up to 838. Create the RA4AH zone, rezones 2 properties on West Oakland Avenue, one owned by West Bergen Mental Health Care and the other by Triple D Holdings. The zone permits the creation of a multifamily housing with a density of 15 units an acre. Open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
Open.
If you
Favor?
wish- If,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Michael.
if you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to adopt.
Take a vote on motion to close.
I did, did everybody say, well, I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now to adopt.
So moved.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Okay, this is 839, create an RA5AH zone. Is there, and that is Elm Street, that's with 5AH. I have it as the Gabrielian property that we know about, and with a possible dedication of a bypass road. Motion to open to the public.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Open to
If
the
you,
public.
if you wish to provide public comment, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve, adopt.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Code 839 creates an RA5, no, we did that.
840, mate.
840 is the 20% set aside. Criteria for 5 or more units. Open to the public.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Oh, it's motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Code 841 Senior Affordable Housing District. Motion to open.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Roll
Second.
call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini,
Yes.
21-842 is the CDB 1 and 2 affordable housing overlay. 8 units per acre, maximum meets sewers with residents above. Open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If
Wake
you
up,
wish,
everybody. Michael?
if you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini,
Yes.
21-8, code 843 by county. What this does, it conforms to the memorandum of understanding. Motion to open.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you wish
Open.
to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini,
Yes.
Code 844, amend Chapter 3, Section 3-23, entitled Police Regulations, Section 323, entitled Consumption by Persons Under the Legal Age on Public or Private Property. Open.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael?
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to amend.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy,
Yes.
Councilman Kamala,
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli,
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski,
Yes.
Councilman Talamini,
Yes.
The next one is 21 Code 845, authorized deferred charge. And this is providing a special emergency appropriation of $200,000 for the preparation and execution of a reassessment program.
So moved.
Second.
That's to open. All in favor?
Right.
Michael?
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
To close.
I have discussion. Can I say it now?
Well, do you have to vote to close the open?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yes.
All right, discussion.
Yes, on the reassessment, this question, I guess, would be for Rich. I think we said we can pay this off over a 5-year period. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's how a quote unquote special emergency.
Or I'm frozen.
I don't see myself frozen, but yeah, the way a special emergency, as the state calls it, works is it lets you fund it now, pay it back through your budget appropriations over 5 years. So that's what we'll be doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just a quick update for council as well. Notices to everybody in the community on the start of the reassessment program should be in the mail within the next week or so. And the reassessment company will be running a webinar for the public too that they can sign up for that helps explain the process. It'll be interactive. They can ask questions, regarding how it works, why we do it, etc. And get their questions answered. So I'll be sending you a copy of the letter so that you have it for reference.
And hopefully everybody on the council will watch the webinar so you can answer the questions when the residents contact you. Code 846. We didn't vote on that.
No.
So moved.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinutelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Code 846, amend Chapter 3, Section 3-6, entitled Police Regulations, Section 3-6, entitled Alcoholic Beverages.
Open. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinutelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
21 Code 847, amend Chapter 3, Section 324, Police Regulations, entitled Smoke-Free School Zones, Underage Smoking. Open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinutelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
21 Code 848, amend Chapter 9, Section Recreational Facilities and Recreation Areas, Section 9-6, entitled Smoking Prohibited on Recreation Areas, Public Parks, and Borough Piers and Boat Launches. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Open.
If you wish to provide public comment on this ordinance only, please click the raise your hand icon. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
So just so I understand this, so there's no more smoking in the rec fields.
There was not smoking previously; that had already been banned. This adds cannabis to the items that you cannot smoke in these areas.
Okay. So, but people do smoke.
They're not supposed to be smoking at our rec facilities. That's not what's changing here. That's been in place for a while.
So we should enforce it.
That is enforcement issue for the police. Yes.
Okay. Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pinutelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
So under work session, the ordinance on limited breweries and craft breweries, this will be tabled until the next meeting when Fran can come and make his presentation. The next item is the veto of the cannabis ordinance, what the council wants to do.
Mayor, may I have the floor, please?
Please.
As a member of the Cannabis Ad Hoc Committee, and since you mentioned me in your opening
Never
statement.
mention names. Never mention names.
Okay. I'd like to explain to the public, and as a matter of fact, one of the residents who asked tonight wanted to know our reasons for our votes tonight. And before we vote, very briefly, I just want to give a summation of the reasons why I voted to ban it. From the very beginning of the discussion on cannabis, as a matter of fact, my opening statement at the Ad Hoc Commission was that I was in favor of banning cannabis in Oakland. The main reasons that I gave were the Cannabis Regulatory Commission in Trenton have not adopted any rules or regulations regarding cannabis in New Jersey. Therefore, we really should wait until we see what rules we have to play by before we adopt any part of the cannabis regulations. Also, when our planner, Steve Leiden, discussed cannabis, at the end, I said to him, Mr. Leiden, is it true that if we vote to ban it, that we could revisit it in 2 or 6 months and make a decision as to which one we preferred? And he said yes. The third time I mentioned banning was when Councilman Van Eck asked which one we would be in favor of. And I told Councilman Van Eck that for over 35 years in public health, I've read volumes of information regarding the effects of cannabis. And I want the public to understand that cannabis, that marijuana, affects the cognitive ability of young adults to make decisions. That's a scientific fact. Also, by the deep inhaling of cannabis or marijuana, it destroys the cilia in the lower part of the lungs because marijuana is inhaled deeply. At the last meeting of the ad hoc committee, one of our committee members asked that he wanted to hear from a legislator who have experience with cannabis. I recently received an article by Robert J. Corey, who was one of the legislators who helped write the bill legalizing marijuana in Colorado. Now, he gave several reasons. I'm only going to mention a very few. One of them is that the growers soak the plants in chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. These toxic carcinogens are either ingested by the consumer or foul our air and water. On a proportional basis, indoor corporate marijuana is Colorado's worst environmental polluter. Frequent users lose billions of their brain cells and develop tolerance and craving for marijuana. His last point, Connecticut should resist well-funded pressure to follow Colorado's mistake and should not give a foothold to powerful criminal lobby. This is a monumental decision for us here in Oakland. I've been on the council for over 14 years, and I have to say, this is going to have long-lasting effect in Oakland. If we pass one or more of the cannabis regulations, we're stuck with them for 5 years. So we won't be able to say a year from now, you know what, that really didn't work here in Oakland, because we would be stuck with it for 5 years. What we're doing is pushing the pause button, which was recommended by the president of the League of Municipalities in her address to the League after the cannabis meeting. So we need to take advice from people experienced with this. Also, in the June 14th record, and I read it right from here. Since April, officials in more than 36 municipalities in Bergen and Passaic counties have introduced or adopted ordinances restricting all 6 classes of cannabis. As a matter of fact, more than almost all towns in Passaic County have banned this, all of the cannabis regulations. I just want the public to know I take this very, very serious. This is not something that we do in 1 or 2 meetings. We have to look at all the pros and cons. And I am a taxpayer here too. And I support a supplemental revenue for the borough. But we can't do it with a knee-jerk reaction. We will adopt something. What that is, I have no idea now. And even recently today, Camden outlawed the use of cannabis. They restricted all of the uses. So please understand, I do this from my heart because of my knowledge in public health and how it affects.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
First of all, We can't discuss the legality of marijuana because it's legal. So that's an issue that's not to be discussed.
Right.
Number two, the president of the league was her personal opinion. The league did not come out and say, take a pause. So just to correct you, because I am on one of those legislative committees, as I've said before. So at least get the facts straight. And if you're going to and I hope you will remain on the ad hoc committee.
I will,
because this is not going away and I'm not giving it up. But please, if you're going to say one thing during the ad hoc committee, I hope you continue on that same train of thought.
Mayor,
Anybody else have any comments before the vote?
You know, I said from
any
the
other
minute
comments?
I would keep an open mind. I really mean it.
That's what you said last time. Any other comments by any councilman before the vote?
Yes, Mayor.
You need, yes.
I want to reiterate what I said yesterday in the paper, and that is every opportunity be given to come up with every possible revenue providing method regarding the new cannabis legislation. The planning board, all the members of the planning board, except for an abstention, recommended in 2 letters that an ordinance be passed to adopting and to allow certain features of the cannabis legislation, which would effectively offset the taxes on our residents. I would be open to considering any method to lowering the taxes on the residents of Oakland if it were presented to me. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to comment before you vote?
Yes, Mayor. I just want to say one thing to answer Ms. Gregory's question. I remain open-minded about this issue. I fully respect the fact that it has been decriminalized in the state of New Jersey. All I'm saying is by this ban remaining in place, it allows you, Mayor, your committee to do the best work that they can and bring us a product that we can really look at and really analyze so that we make sure it's good for Oakland.
So you could do it next year. This council goes very slowly, but I accept that. Anybody else wish to speak? Then roll call. You have to vote. You need 4 votes to override my veto.
Not yet, Mayor. Before there's a roll call, someone would have to make a motion to override the veto.
Thank you.
Motion.
I've never done this before, and in all the years I've been mayor, I've never, ever vetoed an ordinance. That's
motion
how strong I feel
motion overturn the mayor's veto.
Aspect of this.
I second the motion.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
No.
Councilman Kumala.
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slosinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
To the residents of Oakland, there were 4 votes to override my veto. So we still have a ban on ordinance on the on any kind of licensing in Oakland to help offset the taxes, to help offset our debt service, to help offset any infrastructure projects we have. And we'll see how fast this council plans to move. Our committee is moving faster than this council is moving because we feel so strongly to do research. I'd like to know how many of the councilmen, and that's a rhetorical question, I don't expect an answer, will do the research and vote educationally and knowledgeably as a professional rather than take orders from one particular person.
I have that.
I hope I'm expecting more Oprahs from you guys. Anytime, send me those Oprahs on my. I have no financial interest in any marijuana company. I do not know the names of any except the one that I mentioned during the ad hoc committee because of Lodi. But all I'm thinking about is how we can offset and stabilize our taxes. Come up with a better plan. I'd love to hear it from our finance chair, how we can come up with a better plan to stabilize our taxes. With that, new business. I have new business, and this is for our administration committee. I live on the north end of town. Every day for the past 2 weeks, I've been driving by a house on the corner of 202 and Brandywine. And his vehicle is sitting on that front lawn with a for sale sign, and makes people coming down from Borough. It's one of the first streets they come in. They pass in Oakland, and it looks like a junkyard with this car sitting in the middle of the lawn with a big oak tag for sale. I spoke to Mr. Kunz. He claims he sent out a property manager, property maintenance, who claims he went there. The resident was arrogant about not moving. He wants to sell his car. He's going to leave the car there. I said, how long can it take to get a summons? Same problem we have with the parking lot at Oakland Drugs. With those trucks there, they're in front of the plant. They're in front of the zoning board. They're in violation of our ordinance, parking those trucks there. Are they getting violations? Are they, what's happening? I'm asking the administration committee to sit with the ordinances on property maintenance and do something so that we can start fixing up this town. The second thing I'm bringing up is that as a business owner, because I am a business owner in town, I plan to work with the Chamber of Commerce and revitalize it. I've talked to the officers of the Chamber of Commerce. We don't have the funds right now to beautify the downtown. We've talked about it for years. The funding is not there. We have no money. So I'm talking to the businesses, and we're going to revitalize the Chamber of Commerce. And as I said to one person, we may not have the money now to beautify the downtown, but we could start fixing it up with a Band-Aid and make it look pretty. We can't redo it because we don't have the money. We could start making it look nice. So just telling you that I plan as a business owner in town to working with the old officers of the Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to revitalize the Chamber of Commerce to help with our town.
Mayor,
With that, any other new business?
Is under the new business, are you, for the revitalization, are you asking the council for help with this, or?
No, Chamber of Commerce. You have to be a business owner to be in the Chamber of Commerce.
No, I understand, but it was new business. I thought it had something to do with the council.
No, I'm telling you that we're going to we're going to reenact and revitalize the Chamber of Commerce. Get on
Mayor, I'd like to chime in. Mayor, I'd like to chime in on what you're saying.
Sure.
As I had indicated for several months now, there's a pizza place in town that had 12 flags and signs in front of their business without any permits at all for them. Finally, the 4 flags that flutter at 12 foot high as you come into downtown to make it look like a carnival place, they've been removed. Now there's 5 more signs still up. And the real issue is they're not even on his property. He put them on the 2 buildings adjacent to his property. There's 4 on the liquor store and there's 1 on the gentleman's barbershop. Now, it's been 9 months since we brought that up in September of last year when we did the walk through downtown. And we can't get that taken care of.
What can we do?
Somebody's not doing something because if it's against the law, if they're in violation.
What's the law? What's the ordinance that they're violating?
Signage
law.
Signage. I'm just asking.
So we don't know if the property maintenance person is doing it. I've said to Richard, maybe we don't have enough help. Maybe we need somebody new. Maybe he needs an assistant. We have to change the ordinance. Maybe we're giving them too much leeway. We're being too lax.
And then
And yesterday, Russ, 1 minute. Yesterday, I went to drop off a letter in the post office. I come out of the post office, and in front of Dunkin' Donuts, you remember the pictures of the trash can that used to be in front of Dunkin' Donuts that was never cleaned out, and it was always garbage dumping all over the place. Well, now they've gone one step further. There's no more trash can. I come out of the place. There's pizza boxes in front of the Dunkin' Donuts with all the ends of the pizzas strewn all over the sidewalk. And you know that Dunkin' Donuts closes at 4 o'clock now. So there's nobody there to do anything about it. So we're making it downtown even worse, even though we talk about it. And I want to make commendation to Ronnie and Larry Levine for trying to beautify downtown. And it looks absolutely beautiful. I bring it up every year, yet we let these businesses do whatever we want to do. NOV should be going out constantly, and there should be follow-ups to make sure they do what they're supposed to be doing.
So Rich, the mayor brought up about the car on the lawn. So what's going on with that?
So they did receive a notice of violation. They have 10 days to abate it according to the current code. and that's where it stands.
And he
Okay.
says he wants to leave his car there because he wants to sell his car.
Okay, but he has 10 days to do it. He has 10 days to do something about it,
In
right?
2 weeks.
Correct.
Okay, so the mayor's saying it's been 2 weeks, so then
It should
we
be
have
from the
to.
time the violation started.
But
not the time of
it
the
should
violation.
be, and what it is are two different things. I just want to make sure that we're moving forward and
Well, that's
and-
what I'm saying. I
and
think
it's-
the administration committee has to go through these ordinances.
There
On
are
property-
that are needed to both the property maintenance ordinance. I was talking with the construction official today. We also need to take a look at our sign ordinance as well. Not just for the lighting part of that, but overall, and I think make some changes to that as well. We are scheduling a meeting for July with the administration subcommittee. I think Kathy sent out a notice about that today, looking for prospective dates, with the topic to be property maintenance. And we'll be meeting with the construction official and going over the ordinance and our practices and our enforcement efforts so far.
Rich, isn't Mr. Chukowski going to have a revision to the property maintenance code at our next meeting? Didn't we say that?
That's what he's working on, yes.
Yeah, I was provided information, Councilman. I will be working on that ordinance.
Changing 10 days to 5 days.
Well, it
Well,
was
that's the
7.
proposal. It's up to the council.
We talked about 7.
It was 7 days.
You count Sundays?
Frozen again.
Yeah, we count Sundays because the mayor's veto statute is based on a very archaic statute from years under the borough form of government from years ago. Because on Sundays no one works. But I will have the change for the violations at the next meeting. But there are also other changes that will be required.
And who oversees that our property maintenance person is doing his job?
Mayor, I'll be able to share with you a full report of all the violations that have gone out. Okay?
That was going to be my next thing. I mean, if we make it 1 day or we make it 10 days or if we make it 20 days, if we're not following up on it, it doesn't matter what the ordinance says.
Yes.
So I think we have to look at it that way also, and see what we can do. We all want the downtown to look presentable.
Forget the downtown. I passed this house every day for 2 weeks. First, it was a pretty white car sitting on the front lawn. I thought it was a disabled car. Then I see a little sign on the window. Next thing I see these big oak tags on the whole front windshield.
Right.
And I said to Rick,
you don't want it.
It's ugly.
It's like riding down Route 46 and going by the used car lots.
Yes.
Sure. It's look, I agree with you. We just have to figure out what we're doing, and if the property maintenance person needs more hours, or we just have to we really just have to see what's going on. Just take an assessment of when a complaint comes in, when a violation is given, and when it's resolved. And we'll see what's going on. I mean, a lot of times, you drive past something that aggravates you, and it's an eyesore. But in reality, it happened in a timely way. But you just happen to see it every day.
And Oakland drugs doesn't bother you?
No. Yes. No, I'm not arguing with. We just have to figure out how we're going to do this. That's all. Instead of just we just have to come up with this. I'm happy to talk about it in an admin meeting.
Excellent. So. Any other new business? Old business. So we'll do council committee reports, and we'll start with Councilman Bialy so he can work with John Yakimic.
Okay, very good. Let's start right at the top, and I want to start with a letter we received just to let everyone know about the Patriots Bridge. The letter was sent to the mayor, and it says, thank you for a letter regarding the inclusion of Patriots Way Bridge superstructure replacement in the State Transportation Improvement Plan. On behalf of Commissioner Diane Scassetti, I appreciate the opportunity to address your inquiry. I am pleased to inform you that the New Jersey State Department of Transportation has provided Congressman Josh Gottheimer with a letter of support for this project. I've enclosed a copy of the letter for your records. This project will be eligible for inclusion in the STIP once funding for all phases of work have been secured. And from what I'm hearing from Rich and from the people in the know, that this is more or less going to slide through the U.S. Senate. And we may be able to look at getting the entire replacement of the bridge funded by the federal government.
Yay!
Rich, John, you want to add anything to that?
Nope, just that the given that this requires literally an act of Congress to make happen, the timing of that is uncertain. You've probably been reading some stories about how there's quite the battle shaking up in Congress over that infrastructure bill. But we are led to believe that regardless of what the final outcome is to be, the member designated projects will be included in one form or another. So it is just kind of a matter of time at this point. And as soon as we hear anything further, we'll advise you. But
Yeah, I just want to add that Boswell is moving along with the schedule as we had originally given the council several months ago, as if nothing has happened. We are still moving towards that September date to advertise for the project. We have a little blip with the Bergen County Soil Conservation District. However, we were expecting to get their certification this week. They came back with some comments. We don't expect addressing those comments would affect the schedule for the project to be advertised in September. And we've completed the specifications. The constructability review was completed today, and we expect to send the plans to Bergen County and the state DOT for comments by next Friday, which is just before the holiday, July 2nd. So we remain on schedule, and we were pushing forward regardless.
This might delay, but Mr. Bialy, if we do get the grant, this might delay the start date. Is that true?
That might, yeah, might. We'd have to go by the regulations set forth by the DOT.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
and we're not sure which program this may fall under, so we're not sure exactly what additional federal requirements may or may not be imposed on us at this point.
But
if it allows us to get $4.1 million in grant money,
it's
and we've been assured by our engineer that the bridge is safe for vehicular and pedestrian traffic.
Just a question for Mr. Ukemic. So the best case scenario is if the federal government awards the money, it gets put in through New Jersey DOT so that we can very quickly distribute it to the county and then the towns with without so many strings attached. Is that a fair statement?
Well, yeah, we don't know what strings are going to be attached at this point, and to try to speculate, it really doesn't serve any purpose at this time.
Fair enough. Thank you.
So now we have this thing held in front of us, that we're going to get all this money. When do we now? Like Boswell is moving forward, like that's not happening. But when do we say, and how does it affect us adversely if we were to move forward with the grant that they're dangling in front of us, or if we were to start the project before we accepted money from them?
Yeah, generally speaking, usually you can't start a project ahead of time and expect to be able to use grant money. Usually,
exactly.
The organization either wants to review your specs, wants to make sure that you're meeting certain permit requirements and the like. So we would not recommend actually starting until we know definitively about the grants.
So this council will have to make another major financial decision.
But so then, like the estimate of the cost. So like, how good is this estimate? Are we going to sit on this estimate for a year and then we don't get the money and then we go back and now it's going to cost that much more to do the bridge?
Well, we, as promised, we're coming to the council with monthly estimates on pricing of steel. We're due to give you a new estimate right after the holiday, the July 4th holiday. We'll forward that estimate to you. And so I would say that within the next 2 months, the council will have to make some sort of critical decision. And we're just keeping our fingers crossed that Congress acts and we know what the rules are within that
Right.
2-month period.
And hopefully pandemic prices will start coming down, which they've already started to do with wood. Wood is taking a drop in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the price of steel has started to come down as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
right now, the estimate for the bridge is some 5 million. The estimate of the grant is 4 million. We already have $1 million, correct, Richard?
Yeah, about 1.1, 1.2.
Right. So at some point in the very near future, this council is going to have to make a financial decision about what to do with the bridge.
Right. Okay, continuing. I'll continue my report, Mayor.
Please.
Okay, water and sewer. I was happy to have Councilman Slazinski join me at the water and sewer meeting, and it was extensive. And we went through a myriad of different topics, which were discussed on our water and sewer projects. Anthony and Mike McMahon, as well as our professionals from Boswell, were in the meeting. In order to keep up with the new regulations of PFOAs and PFOSs, a new filtering system is being discussed. Mind you, the state of New Jersey regs don't even have a standard set yet, but they are already putting this out there as one of the substances which is involved in water and all over the place. And one of the products that it's hard to believe, one of the products that these PFOAs, PFOSs come from is the packaging of microwave popcorn. So we can't have a moratorium on popcorn to stop the PFOAs from going into the water. Decommissioning project. This is still a waiting game for the iBank's green light to proceed with the project. All our professionals are reaching out to iBank officials to try and move this project approval along. In order for this project to move forward, we will be removing the storage tanks at Chapel Hill. There's a diesel tank there and a methane tank there that have been on the project site since it was built. And in fact, what I was told was the methane tank was never used. So, but it's part of the decommissioning. So if we can get it started by removing that, and hopefully our string pullers will have some luck with the iBank officials. The WIMP plan is still in the same mode as it was. It's still being reviewed by the state DEP for its approval. I refer to the WIMP as the Groundhog Day review because of how many times the DEP has reviewed and commented on this plan. Rampo Valley Sidewalk Project, residents have been giving the easement sign-off packages, and we are waiting them to be returned. I believe Mr. Yakimic will be knocking on doors soon to retrieve them so this project can start.
Tomorrow.
Very good, John. Thank you so much. Digital sign project, excavation for the footing of the sign will be worked on tomorrow, and inspection of that footing will be done on Friday.
It's so exciting.
Okay. Historical and cultural. Schematics of the intended replacement building of the Stream House will be ready in July for review and approval. At the Van Allen House, a storage trailer has been ordered to safeguard the existing contents of the building during the next phase of the interior renovations. A pre-con meeting has already taken place with Richard Kunz and the contractor. We already went through the Patriots Way Bridge news, and I just want to take 1 minute to thank again Ronnie and Larry Levine for their yearly donation of all the plantings you see downtown along both sides of the road. And it catches your eye as soon as spring and summer are here when you see those flowers. And it all is because of donations, the generous donations from Ronnie and Larry Levine. Thank you so much, guys.
John, just before we get off of you, just the Van Allen house, I just noticed the little bridge that's there. the one side is a little dilapidated. That if we could have maybe somebody look at it, it just
okay
before
I don't
somebody.
like that before. I get nervous every time I saw kids walking on there.
Yeah.
I know. I go across that bridge. I'm down at the project a lot, and I go across that, and I watch my feet as I go across, just to make sure they're still standing on something.
Mr. Councilman Viale, a resident brought to my attention also, the little bridge that's in the property with the railings that are falling down. Could somebody look into that?
That's what Russ just talked about.
We're just talking about that.
That was it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Russ.
Mr. Kamala, since you're speaking, your turn.
Oh, well, thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I'm going to give a report for Mr. Van Eck. It was just forwarded to me about the TV committee, the OCC. As of June 15th, Oakland TV is now available on Verizon channel 2145 in high definition. Residents who have an HD set-top box, Oakland's non-HD channel on Verizon will still continue to be channel 45, and this will be discontinued on or about July 16th, 2021. Anyone with Verizon who's watching Oakland TV on channel 45 is highly encouraged to tune to channel 2145 to see it in high definition. Also, speaking to the Oakland TV, those who love classic films, music, please tune into the Oakland TV for the monthly matinee movie. This month, the movie is The Wasp Woman. Tune in at 4:30 p.m. to watch. Also, they're saying the newsletter and television committee are looking for members to join. And if you are interested, please go to the Communications Commission webpage on the Borough website and fill out a volunteer interest form. And the next Borough newsletter will be mailed on July 1st, so please be sure to sign up if you have not already. Information on how to sign up is available at the Communications Commission webpage on the Borough website. And the next OCC meeting is scheduled for July 12th at 7:30 p.m. For my report, the Oakland Green Team, they wanted to let everybody know that the community garden is flourishing, and they're expecting a big bumper crop of vegetables this year, and they're looking to make some donations and identify places to donate the fruits of their labor. Also, the Arts Ensemble was a major success. Throughout the county, there were 150 artists that had presented, and in the Oakland session alone, we had 30 artists that presented in Oakland between work inside the library and the artists that were performing on stage. And the big news coming from the Oakland's Green Team is they are submitting for 565 points to Sustainable New Jersey this year. That's a huge number. Normally the silver is 350 points, and they exceeded by 215 points. So good job to the Oakland Green Team for all the hard work that they're doing. Moving forward, they're just going to be gearing up for fall events once the summer is over. Also, the Great Oak Park, we have a meeting next week to discuss the band shell. And really, that's all I have on my report, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Thank you, Mayor. From the police department, all Oakland residents should be aware that a group of individuals are going around Bergen County towns in an attempt to scam residents. The scammers typically target senior citizens and look for homes that need a new roof, a new driveway, or other high-cost repairs. Once a low price is verbally agreed upon, the scammers will apply a substandard coating on the roof or driveway and then demand payment of an amount that far exceeds the original quote. They often threaten the resident and intimidate them into writing a check or paying cash for the exorbitant amount. Please be aware of the scam. Share this information with senior citizens, and as always, if you think someone is trying to scam you or a loved one, do not hesitate to call the Oakland Police Department at 201-337-6171. Thank you and stay safe. From the senior citizens, the senior citizen barbecue has been postponed until Friday from 11:30 to 2:30 due to yesterday's weather. The Bergen County nurse will be resuming her bi-county health checks beginning in July. They will visit the senior center the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is a drop-in program, and you can sign up your slot for the day of when you arrive. For more information, please see the Senior Citizen Oakland website. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. For the police department, I want to commend the police department, the chief, and the members of the police department. This month alone, the police officers took 13 different certification courses just to keep up on the ever-changing laws in the state of New Jersey. So our police department is well equipped. Thank you to the chief. Thank you.
Tony?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Schools, I attended the VMS graduation along with the mayor and Councilman Slazinski and Councilman Bialy and Councilman Kamala. It really was a nice graduation. It was shorter than usual. It was outside. It was warm. It was they did a really good job. You know, I had written down the girl's name who sang, and I lost it. I'm so sorry. She sang so well. If I remember, I'll announce it at the next council meeting. I couldn't believe what a nice job she did singing. It was really pleasant listening to her, and I'm sorry I don't have her name, but she did a wonderful job, and congratulations to all the graduates. It was fun. I was mentioning I've been going to those graduations for a number of years now, and when I started, I didn't know any of the kids, and now I knew like 6 kids in every line, and I'm like, I coached that one, and I coached that one, and it was just it was great seeing kids that I hadn't seen since the soccer field, and especially the girls. I don't get to coach too many girls anymore, but that was great. Finance, you know, we had the little problem with the tax bills. We're working on that. We're hoping that won't happen again. And then what do we got? Finance. Public events. How could I forget public events? The parade is the carnival is tonight till Saturday. Thank you to Chopper for all you do, not just the carnival. You know, he prints this with his own money, sends it out. Chopper's amazing. Thank you, Chopper. And please, if you could volunteer and join the public events committee, we do great things. They're always looking for help, and they could always use some assistance. Then also, I just want to thank the DPW for all the help that they gave for the Braves 11U Gold baseball team. They hosted a tournament down at the rec field last weekend, and it was a great success. And if I can't tell you how many people from different towns mentioned how nice our facilities and what a great job they do at keeping it nice. And so thank you to Jimmy and Anthony and all the DPW guys. And also thank you for training us on how to use the Sand Pro, the little tractor that rakes the fields. If it's missing one day, it's probably at my house because I love driving that thing. So it was it's a lot of fun. But thanks again. Oh, and by the way, the 11U Gold team won the tournament. They're a powerhouse, that team. So congratulations to them.
What happens? You coach them too, right?
Yes, I do. But that's it, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilman Slazinski.
Thank you, Mayor. News from the library. Registration for the summer reading programs for adults, teens, and children continues and can be found on the library's website. Any questions, please call the library. I've also been asked to remind everyone that the children's summer reading program kicks off on Tuesday, June 29th at 1 p.m. Free ice cream will be given out from the Good Humor truck for 1 hour and while supplies last. Kids can also pick up the summer reading packet. Please register in advance on the website calendar or by calling the circulation desk. I was also asked to mention that the books on the Indian Hills High School summer reading list can also be found at the library. And lastly, the air conditioning situation remains the same. So if you plan on visiting the library and are concerned about the heat, you should call ahead and find out what the conditions are on that day. That's it.
Before we open up to the public, I will make a committee report on the Cannabis Ad Hoc Committee. We are meeting again on July 7th. We're going to keep meeting. You may not want to do anything for months, but we're going to keep meeting, and we're going to get the research, and we're going to get the numbers. And I'm not giving up on bringing money into this town to help offset the taxes. With that, I'll open to the public.
So moved.
Don't tell me you a yellow dog, Russ. Is there a motion?
Second.
What are you asking, Mayor?
Nothing. Open up to the public.
So moved.
You're just going to make a snide comment and
I didn't make a
that's
slide.
all?
I said, I
Oh,
hope
okay.
you're not yellow dog on your emails. That's not your email.
What does that mean?
And you don't know what I mean. That's good. That's excellent. Thank you. That's a thank you to you.
Okay, Mayor.
So we're open to the public.
There's a motion.
Already made a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If you wish to provide public comment, please click the raise your hand icon or *9 on a mobile phone. Mayor, I see no one further.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bills to be paid. Councilman Talamini.
Bills to be paid, $609,259.70. So moved.
Second.
Vote only if you read all the bills list, please, so that you are voting educationally and knowledgeably. Roll call.
Councilman Bialy.
Yes.
Councilman Kamala.
Yes.
Councilman Pimentelli.
Yes.
Councilman Slasinski.
Yes.
Councilman Talamini.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next meeting will be in person. It'll be our first in-person meeting after like a year and a half. I don't know. But it's going to be at the Senior Center on Wednesday evening, July 14th, 2021. See you all at the carnival.
Bye.
Night.
Thank you, everyone.